Hey guys, and welcome to another YouTube video. In this video we're gonna continue with variables in Python. So before I get into the video, we have to create a new file. So you can actually do that by tapping Ctrl N and you save your file. So over here I have my new file. So in the last video we discussed about variables in Python and we didn't really go in depth. So what I actually want to do in this video, which is variables part 2, is to go more in depth. So in the last video we learned how to create assign variables to a string. We learned how to assign variables to integers. So there are actually 4 main data types in Python. The first one is the str, which is the string, and the other one is a int, which is equals to the integer, and the other one is the float, which is equals to decimal, and the other one is a bool, which is equals to a boolean, which actually are true or false. True or false. So you can create a variable s to be equals to Python, and we can create another variable called n to be equals to 20, and we can create a variable f to be equals to 10.5. This is a float because it's a decimal number, and we can create a variable called b, which is a boolean, and assign it to true. Remember to capitalize the first letter. So over here I want to see the type of s. So what I can actually do is type print type s, put it in a bracket. So I'm going to do that for all of them. So what I've actually done here is to print out the type of each variable. So this is a string, which is our str, and this is int, which is equal to an integer, which is as well a whole number. This is a float, which is a decimal number, and this is a bool, which is a true or false. So if I run this, it's going to give me class str, class int, class float, and class bool. So this s is a string, n holds the value 20, which is an integer, f holds the value 10.5, which is a float value, and b holds the value 3, which is a boolean. So I guess we get that now. So we can overwrite a variable. So let's print out s, and let's as well do that for the rest. So what I actually want to do is to print out whatever it holds. So as you can see, it gives me true, which b is true, and f holds the value 10.5, and n holds the value 20. N holds the value 20, as you can see, and s holds the value Python. So as I said, you can overwrite variables in Python. So I can assign s to be equals to hello, and I can as well assign n to be equals to 50, and I as well can assign f to be equals to 10.5, let me say 20.2, and I can as well assign b to be equals to false. So if I print this, and over here actually, so as you can see here, s is equals to Python, n is equals to 20, f is equals to 10.5, b is equals to true, and I want to overwrite its content. So I have assigned s to be now equals to hello, I have assigned n to now be equals to 50, I have assigned f to now be equals to 20.2, and I've assigned b to be equals to false. So if I actually run this, I have an error over here. So if I run this, it's going to give me Python 20, 10.5 and true, which are the first values here. As you can see, Python 20, 10.5 and true. And over here I then over assign s to be equals to hello, n to be equals to 50, f to be equals to 20.2, and b to be equals to false. So over here you can see hello, 50, 20.2 and false. So you can overwrite variables in Python. So as we have seen that you can override variables in Python, what if I want to convert from each data type to another data type? So for example, so let's convert n to a float value. So we can set n to be equals to float n, and this is going to give us 20.0 because the decimal value of 20 is 20.0. So if we run this, it's going to give us 20.0, and as well you can as well see that it is a float value because we have converted it to a float. So you can as well do that for the rest. So let's convert b to an integer. So let's assign b to be now equals to int b, and let's print out b, and let's print out the type b. So when we actually run this, it's going to give us 1 because true is equals to 1 and false is equals to 0. So true is equals to 1 in computing, and as well false is equals to 0 in computing. So when we print out b, it's going to give us 1, and it's going to give us class int because it has been converted to an integer. And you can as well do that for all of them. But what if we try to convert s to be equals to an integer and print out s, check the type s? You're gonna see that it's going to give us an error because it is valid. You can't convert a string to an integer unless it is something like 2, and if we actually run that, it's going to give us 2. But as long as it is not a number, you can't convert a string or a letter or so. As you can see, I wrote 2 and printed out 2 as an integer, but if you actually give it a letter or a symbol, it's going to give us an error. So you can as well do that for all of them. So a quick summary of what we did: we created a variable s and assigned its value to be equals to 2, which is a string, and we created another variable n and assigned its value to be equals to int 20, which is a whole number, and we assign f to be equals to float 10.5, which is a decimal number, and we assigned b to be equals to true, which is a boolean value. So, and we can as well overwrite any value. So we can overwrite s and set its s value to be equals to hello, and we can print out s, and it's going to give us hello. So we can overwrite a variable. And we have as well learned about converting a data type to another data type. So we can convert n to be equals to we can convert n to a float value, shout n, and we run this, it's going to give us 20.0, and we can as well check the type. So we can print out type n, and if we run this, it's going to give us class float because before n was an integer over here, and we have now converted n to a float, so it's now class float. So that's all for this video, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.